Figured I just wanted to get the timing on there a little. Hello there, welcome back to more Sonic X Shadow Generations. Specifically Sonic Generations. You can just call me Stent. Last time we went through the game up to the point of fighting Perfect Chaos, with mixed results with regards to my gameplay performance, which I am still not exactly proud of. For this, we're just going to go through the remaining 3 stages, all the appropriate missions, and the remaining boss fights, and if we have time at the end, maybe I'll try my hand at the hard mode fights. But for now, let's just move on to the first of these particular missions, Crisis City, which is going to be quite funny. Just I can't help but imagine Fish of Sonic's particular reaction, just being in this fiery hellscape, like, oh, you know, we have all these weird city places. Apparently we go to a lot of cities, and all of a sudden we get to here and it's like, okay, future me, what the hell happened? What did you do? Why? I thought we were supposed to be the hero. Why is everything like this? And then Martin's just like, I don't know, Mini-Me. I haven't seen this before. This is completely new territory to me. And it's like, great. Even my future self doesn't know how bad this... how it's not so bad. The first one's didn't think the transition to 3D would be this bad. I suppose it depends on who you ask, really. Also, yeah. I keep forgetting just how busted the original Spin Dash was. Boy, am I gonna go looking forward to going back and completing all the missions. But for now, we're just gonna focus on, again, the character focus one, which means, of course, we get to see Vector's funny rhythm game later. Definitely looking forward to that. Also forgetting that the drop dash exists in this game. Oh boy. Okay, so I can do that. Yeah, I will admit, when it comes to 06 representation, I was never really a fan of this level. I mean, it definitely looks distinct, but in terms of, at least in a visual sense, I always preferred, as an 06 representation, Kingdom Valley, which I am, at the very least, that came back for Shadow's portion, which I suppose does at least make some sense, as that's where he met Memphis. Oh, hey, it's the Tails Chow from Phantasy Star Online. I remember you. I never got a chance to meet you, but it's nice you're here on the... Okay, I thought I died there. Guys, yeah. I'm guessing we're going to get a fair few deep cuts with some of these Chow. I'm guessing the Amy Chow is going to be here, the Knuckles Chow. Not sure about the Night... Oh wait, the Night Chow would be here. I wonder if there actually is a Sonic Chow. I always like this part of the level. Ready? Oh, the level's over already. Psych. Fooled you. And now we gotta deal with this nonsense. Well, I mean, I did also quite like this rendition of Crisis City. I very nearly died there. Thank you, Tornado, for actually saving my life for once. No idea why the cannons from Heroes are here. Those weren't in 06, but... fairly certain it will get into this a fair bit, but if I had to choose my personal preference for what level I'd want to see instead of Crisis City in Generations, if I had the choice, then I would have said Night Palace. Tornado, please. There we go. Somehow still got an S from that, no idea how. Yeah, just figured Night Palace, considering the events of Secret Rings are indeed mentioned in both versions of this script, and generally considering all the timeline shenanigans with 06, I would have thought it would be appropriate to just leave it out. Either that or, yeah, aquatic base, really. That's definitely an interesting choice. Also, yeah, there's the tail chow. We only have one more rep for industrial artificial locales. I mean, you say that. I class it more as 1.5. Anyways, it's time for the modern version of this level. Actually, let me go back real quick. I want to check what skills we have available to us at this point. Also, yeah, you can still do this. Always thought that was quite amusing. Anyways, what have you got for me this time, Momo Chow? Still nothing? Alright. This always seemed amusing to me, at the very least. One thing that does seem weird to me is the fact that the drop dash is baked into modern Sonic's moveset and not Stomp is featured in the next act. We don't need to see the Stomp. I know what the Stomp does. The animation, I just imagine the break-ass effects from... the break-ass effects from SA1. I am aware, and I sure do miss it. Why do I keep doing that? As you can probably tell, it's been a while since I played this level. There we go. So it's not like Forza where you can just spam the boost button and win. I will admit, at the very least, compared to the classic version, I always felt this version of Crisis City was kind of underwhelming music-wise. I mean, it's fine, it's just I generally prefer the guitars in the classic version. Also, I'm fairly certain somehow missed that. No worries, I'll get all these on my own time. Eventually. Because if it doesn't matter being bled at the start of the stream there was any indication, I do of course have my preferences when it comes to Sonic games. Also, don't think I didn't see that. Nice little hero swim chow. At least I think that's the swim type. I remember it being green. I always found it kind of weird that the bounce wasn't featured in Generations. Yeah, I'm just missing it from all the various mods of the game, which I'm guessing many of which are already being transferred over to this version of Generations as we speak. That was always a cool shot, I thought. Oh, Omo Chow, I mistook you for a real Chow, sorry. Green Hill and Spagonia tend to be my most played low. Yeah. I imagine everybody has their particular favorites. Mine, of course, being, no idea what happened there. But yeah, mine would probably be the adventure levels. More specifically, I think, Speed Highway and Seaside Hill. Oh, no, I haven't got to the end there. Ooh. Oh, he's got the skull. He's got this. We actually have a Knight's Chow with the skull on. I didn't think we'd actually see that. It's like they're actually paying attention to detail with the Chow Garden, which it's cool and all, but does this mean we're actually gonna get a Chow Garden? Probably not, because when it comes to the Chow, Sega and Sonic teams seem to be allergic to money. It honestly baffles me they haven't really done anything proper with the Chow up to this point. Also, that... yeah, I don't think you want to stomp these too much, lest they just flatten you. Yeah, I will admit the weather, at least where I've been, has been quite odd recently. Well, I say odd, it's mostly just, oh hey, it's snowing outside. That doesn't usually happen. There we go, that's how we do that. Yeah, because so far, just like in Frontiers, the drop dash doesn't seem to be doing much. Anyways, here we go. Here's the funny part. That tornado's carrying a car! Oh, I was so close there. I was so close. My disappointment is immeasurable. Also, hello. Weird-looking reality show. I think that's a power one. Not if he has the shoes with good grip. Fortunately, usually knock down white papers before heading to the big house. Aww. That's a shame. And yeah, I didn't do so good with that one. Bubblegum pink, really. Yes, we can have a look at the Chow, including, yeah, the Tails Chow. Let's see what we have to say to everybody's favorite princess. Who is here because there is absolutely nothing going on in the Soul Dimension. Don't stop asking.
As much as I dislike relying on others, I'm grateful for your aid. The creature was beyond my skills.
I mean, you couldn't beat a big robot lizard, Blaze. How is she here? Good question. I don't know either. I thank you for your help, but still, I don't think we can let down our guard yet. I mean, yeah? That's usually how it goes. No idea where you got that fruit. At least I'm assuming it's a fruit. Anyways, off to Spaghettia. Welcome to Italy. Where it's like, oh no, they ran out of characters. Oh no, I don't know who we can put in the as the Unleashed representative, because obviously the only character which hasn't been represented already in Unleashed was Professor Pickle, and he's not here. Screw it, let's just put Vector in here. He's not really doing much. My condolences to Vector, by the way. Ow. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think most of these robots are likely designed to be fighting... Oh look, it's the pigeons. I was about to say it's the chickens from... What was it, Rush? I think it was one of the Counter-Strike levels. It's like most of the threats here are built to face off against Unleashed-era Sonic with all his nonsense and his boost, and yet... Here we have this objectively worse version of Sonic, skill-wise. And it's like, how am I supposed to be contending with all of this? This is ridiculous. Is that Hatsune the pigeon? Ah, yes, I know what you're talking about. I remember Heartful Boyfriend. And how dark it got at the end. No, please. Fine, we'll do it. We'll do it how the game wants me to do it. This is probably the worst run of Spagonia there has ever been. Still have no idea what's up with those guillotines, though. You'd think for real-life Italy they'd want to do something about their giant swinging guillotine pendulums of death, but I guess not. Maybe they're too busy working in the Donkey Kong Industrial Complex. Guessing I can't go that way. I will admit at the very least when you actually do it right. Classic drop dash works fine, as you'd probably expect. What celebration warrants guillotines? The Dark Ages. But in all seriousness, that's a very good question. I don't know how you... Can I get onto the thing, please? Well, it's good to know that Classic doesn't have to worry about crushing hazards anymore. Can I get up here, please? Thank you. That was a pretty neat skip, I think. Actually, can I do this? properly, I mean? Nah. Maybe I'm just the sort of person who, has grown to question these sort of things. I remember back in the day, I probably would have never really questioned it. It's like, oh, that's just the way it is. No need to worry about it. I think we go up here. Oh no. Oh no. Just go for it. I went for it and it didn't work. You betrayed me, game. I've been bamboozled. Okie doke. Now we get to the fun part, where we have to deal with these robots with the massive lasers. I'm just thinking, with all this crazy stuff, Classic must have so much to look forward to. It's just... Trying to think of his potential thought process behind this. I'm guessing, you know, considering he's likely just basically silent shonen protagonist here, he's probably just doesn't have a single brain cell in that head of his, but I can't help but wonder. Did I botch that? Did I botch that? Is the enemy gonna respawn? Am I just stuck here for the rest of time? Guess so. Okay, I guess I can just do that now. Oh, yeah, it's the clock tower from Kingdom Hearts. I just wrecked it to make a flying battery reference. You remember Flying Battery? I wish I could forget. Difficulty-wise, at least, that felt fairly on brand for the Generations. / Unleashed. Admittedly, kind of dreading the time when I'm obligated to go back and play it whenever the time comes. I'm sure I'll do fine, it's just, again, I don't have that many good memories with Unleashed. Let's see if the modern version improves things a fair bit. It's just, I remember there's a whole bunch of shortcuts in all these levels, and I'm missing every single one. And you can tell it's been a while since I played this. There we go, starting to get into the groove a little bit now. Where am I going, game? Where am I going? Up here, apparently. Up here, apparently. There we go. Ow. Alright, I guess we'll just break through Professor Pickle's office, because clearly he'd appreciate that. Like, Sonic, my boy, that's been the 5th window this week! Can you please stop? Yeah, I'm guessing that's what all those barrels were for. Just... Again, Donkey Kong Industrial Complex. That's just the main thing I remember about Spagonia. That and the one level which was ported into... Don't think I didn't see that, by the way. He's got a paper bag on his head. Again, kind of baffled they just paid all this attention to detail with the chows. Of course, we have all these level... I'm fairly certain most of these parts of the level are just ported over from Unleashed. I know that rail grind down the clock tower that there at least is. Okay, I guess that worked. I really thought at some point I do have to give Unleashed a fair shot, because most of I just remember being the frustrating Werehog levels, and I'm not sure that's entirely fair. Really feels like I have to go back and play it at some point. You know, some point. Then I remember, oh yeah, the Sun and Moon medal requirements. I'm just like, Well, level's almost over already. Remember this from Unleashed? Remember? I really do feel bad for the Unleashed fans, because just all they wanted was a Steam port of their game. Just like they've had with the adventure games. Actually, there's just a whole bunch of games from the 2000s which still haven't gone to PC port. I mean, Riders and Heroes had PC ports and they're nowhere on Steam. And Unleashed just gets nothing. Aside from maybe something on Xbox Game Pass, but I'm not sure I really count that. Well, that's Rooftop Run, and there's just a Chow sweeping up on the table. And he just disappears in the cutscene for no reason. It's almost like he wasn't planned there to begin with.
Thanks, Sonic. You know, I got a hunch someone or something is controlling that monster.
No.
Roger that.
Yes, that is certainly a whole bunch of things you said, Vector. Someone has to be behind all this. We gotta take him out, Sonic. Gotta put cement in their shoes, Sonic. Vector, you gotta chill. This isn't the 1920s anymore. Stop saying ridiculous things, Vector. You're not making sense. Who's this broad? Anyways, it's time for the least appropriate final level in a Sonic game. It's like, hey, remember that game that came out like last year? Here it is again. Remember the game with all the seizures in it? Here it is again. Who put springs in the middle of the Dawn Forest? Hey, remember when you could play as Knuckles and climb up walls? Well, we don't. Here, have Spike Swifts. It's 100 times better and easier to control. Honest. Yeah, I was never really the biggest fan of the Spike's Wisp in colors. I thought it worked fine for what it was, just, when it would come to that, or playing as Knuckles, or having the spin dash, I'd rather just play as Knuckles or have the spin dash. And of course you have... game. What are we doing, game? Yes, a completely flawless, port of Sonic Generations here, folks. I'm gonna have to start over, aren't I? Because, yeah. I've heard of particular bugs in this particular port of Generations happening, because, I mean... a Sonic port that's buggy, wow. Stop the presses, but... it wasn't even all that difficult to pull off. I didn't even do it on purpose, it just sort of happened to me. Is it... I'm hoping at the very least that gets fixed, though, knowing Sonic Team's track record, they're probably just busy shipping the next game. So I don't expect this to get patched too much. I mean, from what I recall, I think they went back and patched up Colors Ultimate, I think. At least where it's not as seizure-inducing. So that's the one thing I remember about the Colors Ultimate port from what I saw, just all the seizures. Admittedly, I didn't really play that much of Colors Ultimate. I say that much. I didn't get it at all. Because at the time I was sort of in my, I suppose, a bit more of an angsty phase, and it was just like, colors again, after I'd grown sick and tired of the writing style, no thanks, and I guess I was somewhat vindicated about the fact that Colors Ultimate wasn't exactly the most stable of ports. It was like, haha, finally! All you Colors fans get to feel how us Adventure fans feel about the SA1 port being terrible. I don't think I've actually seen this part of the level before. With those falling platforms there. Just imagine what this would look like if there was like the wall there was closing in behind you, like in Hedgehog. Honestly, it's been so long since I last played this. It's almost as though I'm playing a new game. Well, that's kind of a weird thought to have, but that's just me. Also, yeah, about the more industrial setting for these levels. This is the last one, and it's just the big Sonic CD reference, because of course the only reference to Sonic CD we had aside from this was the Metal Sonic fight, because Stardust Speedway. Imagine if it took place at like the glacier from the OVA, though. That would be sick. Look at me, I'm down with it. I'm down with the kids all saying, you know, sick and Coolio and etc. Come on, let me grab that one. There we go. There we go. Oh, and the level design's clever here. It's not... You think you're gonna be clever and just bypass the damage. Nope. Dummy spring over there. Because you're being a dummy. Thinking up here. Ah, there we go. And it just runs out as soon as I do that. Aye, aye, aye. Where? Okay. I thought I got lost for a second there. Alright, let's go. Immediately just... Game, please. Game. I didn't really go back and watch the OVA more recently, and just something about the OVA with the music and the art style just doesn't feel like anything else from this series, to be honest. And I will admit I kind of miss that version of Sonic. I mean, with that 90s art style, obviously it's the sort of thing that's maybe wants to look a little bit more into some 90s anime. I mean, the main one that comes to mind being, of course, Evangelion, for some reason. I guess because I was also dubbed by ADV, maybe it was just coincidental, maybe it's just I saw it in a YouTube poop and just decided, oh, this looks fairly interesting, let's have a look at this. This looks kind of weird and kooky. And it was. Anyways, that was Planet Wisp. You can see the generator over there. With the chains on it, just to really hammer home. Yay, that's a big Sonic CD reference. I'm just like, somehow still got an S rank. I think from what I recall, you get some new techniques from getting all the red rings in a level. I think that's the case. At least from what I remember. Also, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Charlemagne has to say to us. And all his scatterbrainness. Is he going to mention his brain damage? Because I know that was also penned by Flynn. It's like, I don't care if that's not actually canonical or not, I'm just still gonna say he's got brain damage because the absurdity of it I just find kind of hilarious. It's like, oh, they actually went there. Okay. Let's just... If people are gonna say that Sonic kissed a princess even though he didn't actually, and he was dead the whole time, I'm just gonna go around saying that Charmy has brain damage. Why not? Is it in bad taste? Yeah. I don't remember if there's actually any red rings on the path here, but I think just playing this is making me think how despite everything with the writing and such, I did at the very least enjoy colors from a gameplay and visual standpoint. And of course this game really does a lot to really up the art style, I think. Really makes everything look possibly a little too bright, but I still think it looks nice. Okay, we might actually have a use case for the drop dash. Except not really. Over here. Yeah, it's super weird to me that this was chosen as the final. I mean, I know that the levels here were mostly chosen, I believe, by poll, which is why there's so many levels with the same theming to them, but I would have gone with some stuff that was a bit more thematically appropriate. The first one that comes to mind for me being... The first one coming to mind for me being Asteroid Coaster. This is what I cross about it being a colors level, while still having that sort of final level feel, I suppose. At least that's what I always felt. Then again, I would have also liked to see Egg Fleet in as the Sonic Heroes rep. I know this at the very least was from Colors, just this big quick step section. Honestly, this is making me think just how many Sonic games there were on the Wii that I quite like, because there was obviously the Colors, there was Black Knight, there was the Olympic games, I'm not counting Secret Rings. I'm not sure I should also count the GameCube games either, because obviously they're not Wii titles, they're GameCube titles, even though it's the same hardware. At least under the hood. That's what I recall at the very least. The Wii just basically being a GameCube except with motion controls. Which is why it was behind so much. At least that's what I recall being the case. Could be wrong. I guess we're just... I forget. Oh, it burns out after a little bit. Okay. Okay, I see, I'm picking up what you're putting down, game. Can I get back up? Did I just blow it? Is there no wisps left? Are you gonna return my calls? Alright, Jones, we're just making our way for this final level. It's kind of weird, actually. In more recent times, I've kind of thought that it would have been nice if Generations had its own sort of unique level as the final boss. As a sort of preamble for the final boss. It's basically what Shadow Generations did with Radical Highway. Can I get... There we... Okay. Yeah, personally I don't mind the rocket power-up too much. Just it's a matter of timing, I suppose. In your own time. I gotta wonder what's actually in these weird cart things, actually. Is it just sort of looks like dirt to me? Is it just stuff to power this whole tractor beam? Is it just... I mean, I guess considering all these egg pawns have pickaxes, I'm guessing it's just dirt and they're just digging. I do like how jovial they look, though. That's sort of the one thing that I quite like about the egg pawns as Eggman's sort of main enforcer robot group. I say enforcer, just... I suppose pawn would be the most apt thing to say. Just... I've always felt they have a lot of personality to them. Okay, trying to remember here. I think that... Okay. I think it was the case that the ceiling was coming down. Yeah, it is. You just gotta break through right at the... Oh, that's not the end. Okay, I think the last one is. Now you gotta deal with all these missiles. Can I get up here? Can I get up? Game. Why do you do this to me, game? I'll let you get a nice zoom up on the last one. Oh, and we're done. I feel that was a nice little callback to Heroes with the sort of rising tide philosophy there with the lowering ceilings, just add a little bit of tension at the end. Still think there needs to be another level after this, but I can dig it. Not a single red ring, though. Ugh.
Dude, there's the emerald.
Why do you sound so weird, future me? It's like that was dubbed in post.
Pretty slick move, huh?
Alright, no need to rub it in. Future me, you prick. And of course, what do we get for Charlemagne?
I was scared because somebody took me, but
Oh, it's exactly the same.
I'm a free bee. Free bee. Free bee. Whee!
All right, just simmer down, buddy.
Oh, hey!
Come on, son, let's clip up the pot and roll. He has no idea where we are, does he? Anyways, time for missions. First and foremost, though, before that, there's a rival fight. There's usually a rival fight for these areas, so, who is this supposed to be? No, seriously, who is this man? Sonic, is that really you? Are you some kind of fake sent for the Chaos Emeralds? I don't know what you're talking about, sir, but we've never met. How do you know my name? Alright, I guess we're fighting now. Whoever this is. Well, that's not fair. How can... He's just throwing everything in the kitchen sink at me. This isn't... Sliver the Hedgehog. Sounds like somebody's OC. Alright, I guess we're doing this.
Stay calm and watch Silver. When you see an opening, unleash your attack. When Silver...
Alright, from what I... Yeah, okay. Okay, so you homing attack these, and then you hit him in the groin. Now I remember. And he just gets skid marks all over him. That... Just... Crashing into a road at 300 miles an hour, that's gotta hurt, doesn't it? Oh no, he's gonna throw his Hot Wheels at me. What can I possibly do except anything? Bap. Yeah, his everything must be hurting after that. Fairly certain you can just bop him while he's doing that. Also, you can just bop him normally doing this, I think. Yep, there he goes. I think as long as we just keep up the lines of rings, we should be fine. Oh no, he's using Psycho Cut! Where was this in whatever your debut game was, Sliver? I'm sure that would have been really cool. But no, instead you just got, a ground pound in order to just throw everything around you. You can't even do it on your own. Oh. He's pulling an entire Katamari at me now, okay. Bang. Well, that guy kind of sucks, to be honest. No wonder I've never heard of him. Yeah, I'll just be taking that emerald, and I won't say anything just yet. Let's let's get to these challenges then.
I'll put out that wall of fire. Call me by pressing the button.
All right, Blaze, I'll be counting on you. Those don't look so much like flames and more just like sparkles. What's going on with these? Okay, so you can just spam it. Gotcha. Oh, and she can attack enemies as well. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, it is kind of a shame that we don't really get to see much of Blaze nowadays. I guess it's just another case of another character they have no idea what to do with. Because I know a lot of people like Blaze and want to see her back, and me, myself included. But again, that would... It's, really feels... It really feels like the Knuckles situation, but worse. We got this one character who's supposed to be relegated to this certain place, and as such can't really take part in the plot unless it involves that particular instance, whether it be Angel Island or the Soul Dimension. So I guess just make it so nothing happens in the Soul Dimension, so she has a reason to come over here because she's bored, I guess. Still can't help but find that immensely disappointing, to be honest. Thank you for making me use the fan blaze, much appreciated. And she even uses the funny tornado attack from that one game I forgot. I'm hoping I still make it in time. Just trying to focus, because it has been a long week. I've definitely been looking forward to this, but again, it's been one of those weeks. Yep, don't even have to fight all the enemies. Nope, perfectly fine with that S rank. You can grab the key real quick. Okay, let's... Oh, we gotta face off against Vector. Call for Vector to get by spots you can't get past.
I'll send you flying to
Used to play shot put in the Olympics, you know.
press the button and I'll be there. Let me handle this.
I want to try that again.
Let me handle this.
That ought to do. I also gotta really feel bad for Vector and the Chaotix, to be honest, because again, it's like I really like their dynamic, at least in Heroes, and I like them as characters, but
Here I
It really feels like they haven't had much to work with for a long time. I'm missing the drop dash already. Why isn't it part of Classic's kit?
Sonic! Ha! Here I come! Ha!
Yeet. There's no care for where we're going or where we're gonna end up. Just yeet.
I got this! Rah!
Oh, hey, it's all these bumpers, like in Collision Chaos. Remember?
Sonic!
Boom, boom, boom. I missed the clock. I'm missing everything. I ruined everything.
I got this! Ha! Sonic! Ha!
There we go. This one's not so bad. Again, yeah. Like Vector a whole bunch. It's fun to voice. Where do you think you're going? I think a technique I think you can employ is just that. Ooh, Kingdom Valley. It's almost as like that wasn't a level in Generations at all. Anyways, let's mess around with Charmy a little bit. Watch out for Charmy. Reach the goal ring while avoiding Charlemagne.
I got lots of pranks up my sleeve. If you jump on a
It's like, hey, remember Knuckles Chaotix? I want to start over on that actually, because I think his main thing is, oh look at all these water fountains, aren't they fun, aren't they cool? And then you can use them to skip stuff. I don't think I meant to do that, but I'll take it anyways. Down here, oh, and he's got these bee cannons. I gotta wonder if this is all part of the, I kind of forget what his whole, his kingdom was called in Archie, where he was... I know he was originally supposed to be the prince of this bee kingdom, but I don't quite remember what the name of it was. Before they decided, no, so Charmy isn't allowed to be the prince, he's supposed to be a 6-year-old who can't think straight, and... yeah. It was kind of an ugly situation with Archie and with Charmy in the comics. Still can't help but feel bad for him. Platform, please. Ah, that was kind of a neat little level in there, just blasting out the window. And now... it's time for everybody's favorite mission in this game. Everybody's favorite mission in this game. You come back here, please. Gotcha. Yeah, time for everybody's favorite mission in all of Sonic Generations. Let's just get it over with, if I can find it. Vector, pick up the beat. I imagine this is probably going to be the longest part of the whole, stream. And a good example as to why the homing attack doesn't really work in this game. Or just modern Sonic games in general, where I think starts off fairly simple enough, and then as time goes on, you drop dash, and then you... yeah, you drop dash, and then you miss your chance to hit him, and then you just die. Let's see how many times the drop dash screws me over this time. I imagine it's gonna be a fair bit. You really gotta wait for this one, I think. Starts off fine, and then it starts going faster. Are you kidding me? I could have sworn I hit that one. Anyways, we'll see how long it takes us to beat this. If not, then we already got the key, so this is just a optional torture on my part. That one feels like it takes forever to come down. I'm not sure what the opportune place to stand for this particular minigame is. I know it's all the same order. It's the same sequence, so you just have to remember, I suppose. I'm just gonna check real quick. I just want to check real quick. Because I don't want to spend too much time on this. Let's have a look here. Just want to see if there's a particular place you can stand to make things a little bit easier. Doesn't look like it. Looks like the stuff I was originally doing seemed to be going alright. At least from what I could tell. Let's have a look. Alright, I guess we'll just keep mining at it. Let's see, options. Let me just see if I can... Yep. What do you mean I can't turn off Omo Chow? That's literally the only thing I wanted to do. Game. What do you mean? What do you mean, game? What do you mean?
You're going up against Vector. Use homing attacks to reflect the musical notes Vector sends at you.
I'm just thinking, I don't think it allows you to just go right up to him and reflect the projectiles before they go back at him. I remember that much at the very least. As far as I'm aware, there's no real cheesing this.
You're going up against Vector. Use homing attacks to reflect the musical notes Vector sends at you.
Oh. And somehow didn't get the S rank on that. Oh. Oh. No, I don't wish to try again. Give me that. Oh, that was rough. Yeah, that mission is fairly notorious in the original game, and I think you can see why. Anyways, we gotta chase after Blaze, and we gotta avoid the bombs.
Catch me if you can.
I remember this one being quite annoying. Game doesn't usually hand you invincibilities like that. Yeah, this whole thing really is just you as a small rat in a maze. Where did she go now? Damn it. Well, I don't think I'm gonna be getting the S rank for this one. Sorry, everybody. Pool's closed. The worst thing is that you move so clumsily while in spikes. Gotcha. Okay, that was a bit of a cluster, but at least I got it done. Just one more mission for us to go through. One last trial before the end. Guess for some reason, apparently, Classic really has issues with Charlemagne. You know, I'm just gonna wait here for it to come back. Here it comes again. There we go. Alright, here comes Planet Wisp. I think. Yeah, just one more mission. I really gotta go out of my way to try and find this one, I think. Got the key at the very least. I guess I'm gonna have to go all the way up through Spagonia in order to get to it. Right, here we go. Here I go. I just want to check something real quick. Hold up, hold up. For some reason my binds don't seem to be working properly. Give me a minute. Give me just a moment. Okay, there we go. As I said, just one more mission to go and then, home scot-free. That's not it. I have to go all the way back through this. I think over here, I think. Boing, boing, boing. I think we just gotta go over the top. There he is. Last one. We actually get to be friends with Charlemagne.
Master of Whirlwinds to help you, Sonic. Press the button to call and Shermie to
I will admit I'm kind of interested to see who's actually voicing the Chaotix nowadays, because it feels like there's such niche characters now. Because I will admit, this version of Charmy sounds a lot like Tails.
Here goes. Sonic. Here goes. Sonic. Here goes.
Yep, had to be saved by Charmy a little bit there. How embarrassing. Ow. There we go, and then we just gotta hit all these switches in order to block the missiles. He's gonna grab this clock here, because it doesn't... And of course I get sideswiped to the very top. This feels like the law of averages with me. At the very least, this means I can afford to be a bit reckless with my jumps, because of course I have a built-in safety net, as you've probably seen. Ow. I see the eggs. Charmy, please. Charmy! I'm so close. If I didn't flub up there, that would have been S rank. Alright. That's all the missions. Let me just try and get that musical note again. I'm gonna be smart about it again this time. I'm not gonna go that way, for starters. Again, as I probably stated previously, all the areas here get colored in once you've completed all the missions, but I don't think I'm gonna be doing that during these streams, unless there's a proper demand for it, because I will admit I am wondering myself which Sonic game I'm gonna stream next once I'm done with this. Click ka-chink. Of course it opens up and we get the cool music. I never got why they never brought this theme back. Alright, in we go. I never really fought much of this boss fight, to be honest. It's just, I guess it is kind of cool. We get to properly fight the Egg Dragoon. And not as the Werehog, but again, never really fought much of this boss, at least compared to, you know, Death Egg Robot, Perfect Chaos. This kind of just seemed more like a formality, a lot like the other modern inclusions. I say modern. This was 2008, 2009. This game is 12 years old, 13 years old. Alright, starting to move into 2D here. I tried to attack his belly Yomocho and he just flew away. How is that fair? Also, have a freeze sample of my super freeze breath! I did like at the very least how cinematic this looked. I don't remember though whether I actually used this on Unleashed. I don't remember all that much about Unleashed, aside from getting frustrated with the Werehog levels. There we go. The main thing is I don't exactly remember him doing all this fire and ice stuff in his fights in Unleashed. Either one of them. But it would have been fairly cool as well as in Force, as opposed to just him attacking you with his... Ow. Yeah, attacking you with just his machine gun, which doesn't really do that much damage. Got you that time. Alright, time to score the last hit. Because I definitely remember this from the final boss fight, where you're just falling into the center of the earth. There we go. Oh, we gotta do it more than once, okay. He's panicking. Gotcha. He wasn't falling there. You're lying to me, game. Still got net strength, though. Happy with that. Oh yeah, we're here, by the way.
I recalibrated everything. This was supposed to be my time.
Oh, please, keep dreaming, Egghead. I beat you every time. No, seriously, we beat him every time. Our scorecard's flawless.
Well, I mean, he did throw you out the airlock in Adventure 2. He did have you at gunpoint and dead to rights and riders.
Call a truce and
You did take over the world in Chronicles. Just saying, no need to hype yourself that much, Mr. Wonder Man.
too. Oh, this is getting serious.
So they're really not making it a spoiler that, oh, it actually is classic Robotnik. Oh no, now they're both gone. Trying to recontextualize the plots where it's not as good. Anyways, final boss time. I always thought this particular area is quite underwhelming as well. Yep, got all the emeralds. And we gotta fit him into the time gears in order to get them to work properly. And turn into platforms for us to traverse into the areas. I'm thinking at this point you would have at least 4 emeralds minimum. At least from what I recall. Okay, I think... Okay, just got to wait for it to start working for a second there. I get you, game. I get you. That's not annoying. I mean, I guess there is a fair sort of mystery aspect to what this whole big broken clock is supposed to represent in the grander Sonic universe, but I don't think they put all that much thought into it, to be honest. These don't seem to be working. The clock is still broken. Okay, now they're working properly. I remember this at the very least, where you get up to the last one and you're forced to drop down. At least I think that's how it goes. I guess you can zoom in just in case you... for no reason, really. Riveting. And we just jump up on this last one, and we fall, and we don't land on the platform anyway, and there we go. That's all 7. Kind of weird that the yellow emerald looks a little bit different here. It almost looks like a... Yeah. I can't help but feel as though for Shadow Generations they really kind of forgot the whole point of the fake emerald, I may as well go into a little bit of this before we go into the final boss. Obviously, in original generations, you're just left to assume, oh, it's just the standard emeralds, but Shadow Generations reintroduces the fake emerald for Adventure 2, which I just sort of laughed at to begin with, because, hey, it's another reference. It's another callback, and Ian is obsessed with his callbacks. Even though, when I thought more about it, the fake emerald being in Shadow Generations doesn't make all that much sense, considering last time I checked, the fake emerald was supposedly destroyed when Sonic slam dunked it into the barrel of the Eclipse Cannon at the end of Adventure 2, or I just left to assume that the hero story of Adventure 2 is no longer canon, because I don't like that. I mean, then again, the Eclipse Cannon worked again in Shadow the Hedgehog, which also doesn't make sense, now that you think about it. That and, Tails mentioned in Adventure 2 that the fake emerald was supposed to react with the energy of the other Chaos Emeralds and then explode, effectively making it a Chaos Emerald-shaped bomb. So, for all intents and purposes, unless Rouge was really sneaky about getting the fake emeralds, the real emerald to us, before we got all the emeralds together, we should have, for all intents and purposes, exploded. Anyways, let's get on to the final boss. Worst part of the game here. Let's see if it's the worst part of the writing.
Okay, Gruesome, you're cornered. So how about you just give up and restore the timeline like you found it?
Ah yes, lip syncing.
Position to demand anything, you nasty little pincushion.
That's the same.
No wonder.
He had a little help.
Dr. Robotnik?
Nobody calls me that anymore. If you would be
Still
so
not happy about that. I personally like the distinction between
it would be
Eggman and Robotnik, being that Eggman is the modern one, Robotnik's the classic one. I know that's technically not how it is in Japan, but
after Sonic ruined my interstellar
I still like the
amusement park,
distinction.
I stumbled upon a dark primordial
Also, yeah, just really hammering home the fact that Colors is canon.
abilities I have long desired to harness for myself.
This feels like the one time they actually
Travel through the dimension of time. So I decided
tried to do a extended story as they've done
the past.
like this, where one story immediately leads into another.
Needed the help of somebody as
Not even Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 did that properly,
smart.
as far as I remember.
Oh, you are too kind, my
Well, he says someone as smart as him, then surely it'd be more the case that Robotnik is less intelligent than him because he has less experience.
But the more your monster tears through the timeline, the more damage you do to it.
Oh, time for the infamous laugh.
that line and reshape it as I see fit.
That's unchanged.
And they call me eccentric.
Yep, you can't call people crazy anymore.
After we've destroyed these Sonics forever. Shall we begin then, Doctor? By all means, my dear Doctor.
Destroy me? In your dreams, Eggman. I beat you all the time by myself, and now there's two of me.
Then I'll have twice as much fun defeating
Yeah,
you.
admittedly, there's a lot less changes to the script than I was anticipating. And a lot of the changes kind of seem unnecessary, really.
Squash you into a blue jelly.
Oh boy, that looks like it's going to be fun to fight against. Taking your sweet time getting up, Sonics. I've gotten out of tighter squeezes!
That was just a
Classic just looked like his neck's been snapped.
It's time to meet your doom.
Oh, here we go.
You're tougher than that. Come on.
You're unknown from ME, Sonic.
You're not beat yet.
Yes, it's the Sonic team in the 2010s.
We're right behind you. Uncle Nick,
You must advance, Sonic.
embrace the emeralds.
Dream of an absolution, Sonic.
You have to win, Sonic.
True dat.
Time and again.
Time to scramble some Eggman, supersonic style.
Ah, now how's Sakurai gonna use that clip, that voice, recycle that voice line in the next Smash game? You ruined it. Alright, here we go. Time Eater. What was the worst part of the original game. It's kind of hilarious that the only real original part of the game is the worst aspect of it. That always felt kind of sad to me, to be honest. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'd still rather have this over Solaris, but still not great. Oh yes, you're gonna help us by saying that looks like a homing shot over and over again. Yeah, I remember this fight at the very least. It's not that bad. You just gotta rush into it and avoid all the things. Gotta deal an Eggman in stereo, which doesn't sound all that different. That looks like a homing shot! That looks like a homing shot! And yeah, from what I recall, the main thing is to not go into 2D. It's kind of a waste of time, to be honest, since you can't damage him there. Plus, I think there's rings around here. Yeah, I think they're easier to spot here compared to the original game. Oh, there's the truck. The driver's like, how did I get here? I was just trying to commit war crimes, and now I'm ended up in a Doctor Who intro. Yes, it really does look like the intro to a Doctor Who episode, doesn't it? You don't scare me! Also find it kind of weird that the supersonic theme in this game, technically speaking, was the main theme for Sonic 4. The Sonic game nobody remembers.
That looks like a homing shot.
Be careful, Sonic.
Yeah, don't mind me, I'm just... I can't help but imagine how annoyed Robotnik must be out there, like, come on, Sonic, come out here and play, we set up this whole thing for you! And Sonic's like, no thank you. I'm perfectly fine staying in here, thanks. Sonic, you're ruining the fun! Ruining your fun, maybe. This is serious business, Robotnik. The whole universe is going to die.
Watch out for the laser.
Oh, there we go. He's going through his... I'm not sure he can actually avoid that, to be honest. Also, gonna have to remember how to do this without taking a single hit, because I'm fairly certain I've already nullified being able to get that achievement this far. Oh. Oh no, he's doing a Dio. How many knives can you dodge this time, Sonic?
It's attacking. Sonic, watch out.
This many, actually. Yeah, just get over here. Let's get this over with, Robotnik. I'm already getting tired of this boss fight. These fights usually go on for like 30 seconds. I'm getting worn out here. Half his body is just missing. Oh. There we go. Not sure if this is the last hit, but sounds like it's the end. Yep. How about no? I always thought this was a cool scene at the very least. I do definitely prefer the 3DS version of how this boss fight goes. But this fight could be worse, I'll just say that much. It could be worse. There's been worse boss fights in this series. Yep, there we go, S rank. Speaking of which, before we go on to the ending, that's one thing that I couldn't help but notice, is that, at least there's one thing I would have wanted to see from this Generations port, even though it's kind of far-fetched. Just bundle in the 3DS version. Just allow us to, at the very least, play through the levels. I know that probably will be difficult to pull off considering it's a 3DS game, but I would have at the very least liked to have gone through all the 3DS levels in some way, shape, or form. It's just still a piece of Sonic history, and it's kind of a shame that it will be lost to the annexes of time in favor of its big brother. Same with colors on DS.
Still warm. Time travel.
Seriously, how many calories are in that thing, future me? Don't tell me I'm gonna have to actually eat those. Also, Silver just spawned in with one of those in his hand, and he's clipping his hand through it. Oh, Knuckles isn't allowed to be comic relief anymore. I don't mind that change too much a little bit. Don't think too hard. Yep, I guess that's the main thing to take away from this series. Just don't think too much about it, because any thought you put into it all just snaps it in half. It's kind of like a house of cards, where the cards are just made of tissue paper, I suppose. One slight breeze and it all just collapses. Oh, here comes my favorite line. Yep, there's just more chows flying around.
Enjoy your future. It's gonna be great.
The biggest lie in the history of this series. Hey! Ha ha ha! Because, yeah, you gotta go through the 2000s and the 2010s where you're gonna be mocked viciously, and then you'll be on the other side in the 2020s where you might be better respected. It's kind of up in the air still. Oh boy, so that was Generations. It's still mostly as I remember it, where definitely do like the main levels, mission modes. Definitely the low point of the game for me. Time meter not as bad as I think most people make it out to be. I mean, it's definitely not the highlights of the game by any standards, but there's been worse boss fights in this series. There's worse parts in this game, if I'm being totally honest with you, with the mission modes. Because some of the missions get really, really kind of egregious. Especially when going for S ranks. But all in all, I'd still say I'm happy with the package. As for the changes to the scripts, as I probably mentioned ad nauseum, I don't think the script changes were as egregious as as they were made out to be by a lot of people I've heard. It's like, oh my god, they changed the script. It's no terrible. It's the worst thing ever. Again, it's not the worst thing in the world. I kind of respect... It's like I said at the beginning, I kind of respect that they want to go and try and fit all the puzzle pieces better together, even though they don't properly fit, and never really will, but the fact that they had to recontextualize and redo the script to a past game really feels icky to me. Like, imagine if they redid the script to Adventure 1, or Adventure 2, or Heroes. I don't think many people would be happy with that, so I can understand why not many people are happy with it here. As for Ian himself, I've had a little bit of time to really get into evaluating some of his work, and he definitely does have some bad habits, which I feel he kind of needs to get away from this series, at least a little bit, to try and break out of him. But again, it's been 10 years, if not more so, and there comes a point where you kind of have to wonder, can you teach an old dog new tricks? But for those people who have really been bashing on Flynn the most, He's definitely better at this than... trying to remember the names. Pontac and Graf. No ill will towards them, I just feel that obviously Flynn, at least at one point, had a passion for this series and a lot of knowledge of it, so can't really fault him for that. Just his skill as a writer is kind of questionable to me. But considering he's in it for the long haul, I don't think that the writing's really going to change that much. So the only thing I really have to say for the real big detractors is to become the change you want to make. If you really dislike his writing that much, then the way I see it, try to hone your own skills and strive towards maybe becoming the next big writer. I know that's kind of a big ask, but considering he started off doing fan comics with Other M and working his way up the ladder, I don't think it's impossible. As for whether anyone will actually be willing to step up and do it, I have my doubts. I'm hoping that some fresh talent from IDW gets to have a go at the wheel, because I'm just mostly thinking of, I can't remember the name, the writer of Scrapnik Island. Scrapnik Island was probably the best of IDW, at least from what I've heard and what I've read. It looks amazing, by the way. Just really love the art style from that. It's like the only one time where IDW Sonic ideology actually works, where he's actually able to redeem a villain for once. Because it's probably the only time it would work, because it was Mecha Sonic, and he's in all likelihood not going to come back in an official capacity. So they could probably just get away with that. As for the changes to Generations itself, a lot of them also feel kind of pointless with the cutscenes. Like with Amelia and the cupcakes and Silver just clipping through that hot dog, just really seemed kind of questionable to me. Like, why do you feel compelled to make these changes even though they don't look all that great? To be honest, though, I kind of get from this the sense that something that I felt for a while, actually, that I'm not sure that Sonic Team really knows what to do with this series. It's like, oh hey, the movies have been surprisingly popular, we gotta think of something, right? You can sort of tell because they ended up bolting this standalone Shadow game onto Generations, a game that you could still get on Steam. Until more recently, of course, you couldn't. Except you can, except not really. Except you can, but not really. I get that for putting it along with a already established game, they didn't really have much options. Aside from, you know, PC port of Shadow the Hedgehog on Steam. No? I would have gotten it. But at the very least, while there's definitely missed opportunities with Shadow Generations, even from the very off I felt there was some missed opportunities, at least with the levels, and so much more could have been done with the story, but regardless. I think it mostly just comes down to not knowing what particular audience they want to go with this series, whether they want to appeal to the sort of 8-year-old kids demographic, or the more old school audience. I feel there's a potential way out by making a Shadow Side series dedicated to the older fans, but I'm not sure how many those people are dead yet. Yeah. I'm not sure they'd be willing to go through with that. I guess it depends on the success of Shadow the movie. Oh,
Door over here? What? You were the one
let's
who
see
said
if
you saw
the
a
sound
door
effects are
over
still here, as they were in the original.
Shut up and keep looking.
Yep, it's supposed to be like they're arguing, except there's the sound effects still. That's the weirdest thing. Like, if there wasn't any sound effects at all, that would make sense, but
What time is it? It's the exact same time as
they should at least have been them squabbling along themselves if they'd had sound effects still.
Let me just say that this was a brilliant plan that you came up with. Don't get too self-righteous. It'll be your plan pretty soon. I'm gonna dedicate the rest of my life to forgetting it. I heard that. Do
Well, of
we
course,
ever win?
then we get a perfect time
That
travel
depends on your
paradox.
definition of win. Beating Sonic.
Yeah, Adventure 2, Riders.
That doesn't give me much hope. Maybe I'll go back and get my teaching degree. That's not a bad idea. I've always enjoyed telling people what to do.
Let's get the... There we go, got Supersonic. Don't use it with Modern, it sucks. Given the time, actually... Yeah, we may as well. Oh. Actually, yeah, we can get Time Break. Which I don't think is actually supposed to be spelled like, break, but more so B-R-E-A-K as opposed to B-R-A-K-E. At least that's the sums I got from Secret Rings, because obviously that's where this ability comes from. There we go, we get Time Break! It doesn't really do much as far as I remember. Skill customization. I'm going to put this in here regardless, because obligation. Here we go. Super Saiyan. Equip set. I want to check real quick. Customize. Can you use Supersonic with... You can't use Supersonic with the drop dash. How disappointing. Again, really feel this should have just been baked into Classic's moveset if they're really going to go whole hog with this. And definitely hoping that we do in fact get the spin dash next game. If there is a next game. But yeah, I think... I did say I was going to go for the hard mode things. I'm probably going to put out a poll, actually, as to whether or not there was interest in it, or whether to move on to something else. It's just right now we have family over, so we get, oh hey, we can probably just play board games together, that would be nice. So, gonna put out a poll, see what people want me to do next, but until then, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see where we go from here. Take care. Bye-bye now.